Hello and welcome everybody to the Front Nine coverage of Round 3, the semifinals of the 2020 Disc Golf Pro Tour Championships presented by Grip 6. I'm Brian Earhart, joined here again by Nathan Queen, and we have one more round left until the big show.
Yeah, it's an exciting day out here in Charlotte. We've got the semifinal round. Again, we have 12 guys out here battling for 4 spots, the last 4 spots to move on to the final round tomorrow.
And Hornet's Nest has been vicious to the field this week, and we've seen, no player has shot a double-digit round yet, which is pretty common on tour, but there's just so many holes out here that the players have to choose, do I want the birdie or do I want to just safely take a par? And it's been punishing a lot of aggression out here, but there are players that are throwing fantastic, and these 4 are doing a fantastic job this week.
Yeah, 4 great players here in Chris Dickerson, Nikko Locastro, Kevin Jones, and Garrett Gurthie. All, as you see, sitting back at even, everybody. Again, with this format, it's each day is a new day. You start even, and the top 4 rounds move on.
And again, players to watch: Austin Hannum and Eric Oakley have been I think they started out in the first round. At least Eric did. Austin did get moved up to a first round bye, and they've been playing fantastic golf this week.
Yeah, and they will get to attack or play for par again on hole 1, 390 feet. Just a super intimidating gap to hit off of the tee. We've seen some players release early and kick from the left and go back right already, and we've seen a couple players grip lock. So if you can get over halfway down the fairway, that's your main play here to try to get your par.
Yeah, very, very distinct, tight flex line here. Here's Chris Dickerson. A little bit low, drifting right. Actually gets the reverse skip, and he's going to be in a good spot to just at least lay up and take a 3.
Yeah, he feels way more relaxed after that tee shot even. So just getting that tee shot, he feels better for his round. He's got a chance to do something with it.
Exactly. Nikko kind of throwing the same line. Again, right in the middle. Oh.
And what a fortunate kick there for Kevin Jones. That one let go about 3 seconds too late out of his hand. And he was able to kick back towards the middle. Oh, gee, let go a little bit late as well. Not as fortunate. But it does look like he has a line here.
Looks like he's going mid-range.
I think that is a driver, actually.
Yeah,
it looks
actually
like a
it
Halo, probably a Halo Wraith. And he's put it inside the circle from behind the women's or the short tee.
Great shot from G. And here's Nikko with a really nice standstill putter. He'll have a 3. We've said this before.
Oh.
Nice run from Kevin Jones. It's hard to take strokes back on this course.
Yeah, you don't want to give up any. So all these throws up there to get back in the circle for par really are making these players feel good to move on.
Great par putt from Garrett. Again, yeah, they played Winthrop Gold last week, which is a super risk-reward style course where the motto is usually, if you're out of position, try not to be a superhero and get the birdie. And weirdly enough, this almost opposite course has the same effect on the players.
Yeah, definitely opposite style as far as trees and OB, but definitely a similar mindset as if you're off the fairway. A lot of the time you can't get back, so you absolutely have to. you have to play for par.
Nikko tapping in the par putt, and Kevin will be doing the same.
Yeah, pretty good hole for these guys. I'm not sure we've seen one without a bogey yet, so good play on hole 1. And moving on to hole 2, which is a 330-foot par 3 over this little pond we've got here. And you've got to make it over the OTB Discs wall there as well and hit this gap late. If you can hit the gap that goes straight towards the basket, that's going to make you feel the most comfortable. If you're left or right, you're kind of bringing those trees into play and hoping to not get a bad kick.
Dickerson going nice and high here.
Uh-oh. This has got too much turn on it.
Wow. And kind of a rare miss from Dickerson. You don't see him burning the disc over like that too often.
Yeah, you see these flags moving here. You can't really feel much wind when you're on hole 1, and you've got a long walk over there where you still don't really feel much. So you get up here and you probably don't think there's a whole lot of wind going on. It might just creep around that corner once it gets over the water.
You see Kevin making a little bit of adjustment on that backhand with the slight hyzer, and that's going to be right there inside circle 1.
Yeah, he just catches that late tree. He is in bounds, but he didn't get the slide up to the basket.
And Garrett pin high, about 20, 25 feet. And here's Chris from the drop zone.
And this is moving a little fast unless it hits the basket. I think it's going to be a bit long. Yeah, it slid outside of the circle, so he's going to have a longer look that he wants for his bogey now. A big putt here from Chris to stay even. Excuse me, to only go +1, I'm sorry.
He has that step putt so dialed in. He looks so balanced whenever he's throwing them. Great putt from Chris.
Yeah, just hit it dead center. And Kevin looking like he had to straddle a little wider than he likes to. It's a long putt up that hill, just a little low.
Nikko's spin putt just chains out left. And here's G for the lone birdie.
Drops it on in there. That's a good putt from G. 2 in a row. He had a circle's edge putt on the first hole for par, so good start for him.
And this really is a putter's course. I mean, a lot of the holes are so challenging that you're really not going to put it within 15, 20 feet that often. So you will find yourself with a lot of circle's edge to 40-foot putts out here. So we did see Kyle Klein the other day hit 5 of those type putts to shoot his solid round. Moving on to hole number 3, par 4, 674 feet. Again, new tee pad this year, forcing the players to really attack the landing zone with less aggression. But the tee shot itself requires more aggression. So it's a really interesting shot, trying to land right about here. If you do have a solid flex forehand, you can land here and have an easier shot up to this really protected basket up and to the right. Really solid par 4 with a lot of different types of shapes it's making you throw.
Yeah, it seems like we've seen a lot of righty backhands trying to go with an understable stand-up shot. And from what I've seen, I think a mid-range is probably the right play. We've had some people going too long. G just a bit inside there, but I think if you could throw one of you like a flippy stand-up mid-range and just have it slide right up to the tree, that's most likely the best shot here.
Nikko trying to throw that line you were just talking about, stands up on it just a bit too much, and he's going to be on that right side.
And this is a more aggressive line if you have a good forehand or a lefty backhand. Kevin Jones turns it over just a bit too much. But if you can turn it over down that fairway and then have it fade out right at the end, then you can get down to that bridge and have a much easier upshot.
Here's that stand-up hyzer you were talking about from Chris.
And that's in perfect position.
Oh, yeah. Garrett breaking out the forehand. He puts himself to a decent spot as well.
Yeah, that's a great recovery. He'll have a good chance for his par. Nikko going with a flex forehand, getting out, and goes a bit on the left side. He'll still have a look to get up to the green.
And Kevin with a really sweet gap right off of his lie.
What a shot. I think that's up there on the green.
I mean, he's circle 2 for sure. That's a fantastic shot from where he was at.
Yeah, small gap off the lie.
And Chris is pretty close to this tree. He's going to have to watch his follow through here. Cuts it a little tight.
Yeah, it looks like he was bringing his arm in, didn't get full extension on it, ends up bringing it in a little tight. He's pretty close, but I don't think he's going to have a great look for a birdie.
Great forehand from Nikko. He's really showed off his forehand chops this season. It's pretty impressive how much work he's put into it. Garrett hits the last guardian. He's going to be about circle's edge.
And Chris still trying to give it a bid there. He got a good amount of power on that. Just touches that last tree. And Kevin from out of position.
There it is.
Gonna go ahead and jam the circle 2 putt. Get a birdie on hole 3.
Fantastic birdie from where he was at. Huge towering Anheuser with the M4. Fantastic putt.
Here's Garrett for his par after being early left. That's a great par save as well.
Nikko staying even.
Yeah, which really is key. You can't, even though he hasn't gotten any birdies yet, he's not out of it at all.
No.
You know, only through 3 holes. As long as you're not bogeying, you still have a chance to get your birdies.
Yeah, and in parring this hole actually is saving you strokes on the field.
Hi, this is Dave Felberg, the 2008 Disc Golf World Champion, and I'm here today to talk to you about Pro Pool and their training products. I used to be a dipper. Some people are rounders. To break that habit, you need a Pro Pool. You hook it up to a wall or tree, it'll break your habit. New release, practice poles. You put them together, you stick them in the ground, there's a flag on top, you throw around them, help you accuracy, prepare for your tournament without having to go to the course. This has been Dave Felberg with Pro Pool Disc Golf. Go to propooldiscgolf.com and try our products today.
Moving on to hole 4, 610 feet. Low ceiling off the tee with the ground going uphill as well. Gives you a little tunnel to throw through. If you can stand a fairway driver up and land about right here, it's about the average play. Push it a little further and have a look at the green is the most ideal. Forehand hyzer around this tree you see, and try to spike it to the right side of the green but close to the basket so you have a nice easy putt.
Kevin throwing this one pretty hard. And he's getting that skip out to the left side of the fairway, which does open up that second shot.
Yeah, that's a great position. Nikko doing something similar, but a little lower. Won't get quite as far, but the green's still reachable from there. You just can't see it as well.
Another low shot there from Garrett.
Yeah, that low ceiling coming into play. Wanted to make sure they don't hit those branches. And this is a bit turned over.
That's a good tree kick.
Yeah,
that was heading for out of bounds.
Definitely could have saved him a stroke or two.
And now Chris has to choose. Do
I
really
aggressive.
want the birdie, or do I?
Oh, no.
And that risk he was trying to take did not pay off. He is out of bounds. And Nikko looks like he's getting ready to attack the green here with the sidearm.
Yeah, he's got the aggressive look in his eyes. That's got a good move on it as well.
He'll be putting on the elevated basket. That's going to be a tough putt, but he still does have a shot. And here's Garrett lining up a big turnover. Inside again.
He's got it past those branches. This will probably fade back out, but not quite enough. Just too inside. And Kevin, after his smash of a drive, making the hole look pretty easy here.
It's going to be a pretty simple birdie for Kevin. Yeah, and anytime you have a green like this, it's so nice to be able to come at it with a slower disc. as Chris puts his a little bit deep from out of bounds.
Yeah, that's going to be a pretty scary putt. He's putting straight at that big drop off there. And Garrett puts his on the bottom side of that, so it doesn't feel as scary, but it's still pretty uphill now because of how steep that drop off is. Nikko, I think he was about 38 feet or so here.
That's got to sit down. No. Oh, he's safe. I was not expecting that to check up.
Yeah, that little upslope helped him out, but he's got just only a couple feet closer than the putt he had before. And that wind, you could tell he didn't know how much to put on it. That wind was having its way with it.
Great putt from Chris for bogey.
Yeah, that's a scary putt, especially after watching somebody else go through some putting struggles. You've got to putt right at that downhill. Good concentration there from Chris.
Garrett also taps in a bogey. This hole kind of wreaking havoc on the card.
Yeah, showing its teeth, even though it's it's a shorter par 4. You've got to hit that gap off the tee, and it makes it harder to get up there to a pretty treacherous green.
This hole actually averaging a 4.5 for the field. So
Wow.
really taking a toll, this sloped green with the OB all around it.
Yeah, there can be some big numbers with that OB everywhere.
And after Nikko taps out his bogey, we will move on to hole number 5. 585-foot par 4. Again, similar to hole 4, if you can push the distance off the tee and get yourself in a good position by these two trees in the middle, it makes the second shot much easier, especially coming into this really sloped green with a slower disc. And there is OB pinching on the right side, and then also right behind this basket, there is a lake that is also out of bounds. So very challenging, but it's all about where you place yourself off the tee shot here. Here's Kevin with the sidearm. Little flex on it out of the hand.
And this needs to sit down, and it does.
It's a good spot.
Gets a good stop. He'll have a look at the green up there. Garrett looks like
That looks like a mid-range
I
out
think
of his
this
hand.
is his Color Glow Rock 3 that he throws absolutely everywhere.
That's smashed.
And he's up there right by those trees where you want to be at as well. And a good flex shot here out of Nikko. It's hard to control that shot with the road being up there on the left to have, to trust that you're not going to let it fade back into the road.
Chris going with kind of a slow drifting shot with a driver.
And to me, that's the best shot you could have on this hole. That's bringing the OB out of play completely. Just throwing straight. It never had a chance to go right, and it never had a chance to go left into the road.
Kevin getting a great play off that tree. He's going to be parked for a birdie now. And yep, like you said, Chris now has pretty easy position. You can flex away from the out of bounds. Oh, no.
Ooh.
Oh, and he's safe after kind of skimming off the road a bit.
Yeah, just enough stability in that disc to keep him off the road. And Nikko going out over the road, hitting a little gap, skipping up just outside the circle. He'll be wanting to hit that. He had a little bit of struggle on the last hole. He's ready to come back.
And anytime you can attack the green with a one-speed disc, life is good.
So Garrett just went Color Glow Rock 3 Sonic on this 585-foot hole with OB everywhere.
The future is here. Nikko step putt just a bit short.
Yeah, you can tell he's not happy. He knows that he's not doing what he needs to do to be in that Final Four tomorrow.
Garrett taps in his birdie.
And Kevin getting off to the early lead of the card here. I believe that's his third birdie now. 3 down, Garrett 1 down. Yeah, Nikko and Chris struggling a bit right now. They, with the front 9 being the easier of the 9, they know they need to pick it up.
And in hole number 6, we have one of the tougher par 3s to get on this course, 453 feet, slightly uphill. OB road on the right to punish any sort of misfire on the drive. And it's just out of reach for most players throwing a non-distance driver, but we do have a couple players that will probably throw a control driver on this shot.
Yeah, I'd say you want kind of a medium stability disc here, and Kevin getting a little out of sorts there, pulling it up high. Yeah. Drops inbounds though, so could be no harm, no foul.
Garrett going with a clean flip up. That's got to scoot forward a bit.
It does. He probably scooted just outside the circle there. But yeah, like a medium stability, something that'll stand up but not turn over.
Exactly.
And then fade back for you.
Something like this.
Yeah, that looked like a good shot from Nikko. Just needed about 5 or 6 more feet of height on it.
Mm-hmm. And Chris has put a great move on this disc, and that should be right there. Circle's edge.
Yeah, he might have caught a little bit of that high ceiling and slowed him down. Couldn't quite tell. Kevin with a good forehand up here. Looks like he's going to put it to get his par, no problem.
You know, we talk about Nikko's forehand progression over the years. Kevin's forehand has come along so far, and now, oh, gee, off the top of the basket.
He's pointing at it, telling it to sit down. But yeah, Kevin Jones, his forehand has... Here goes Chris again, sorry. Chris has got that step putt, trying to get back to even par. I'm sure he's ready to get some more birdies after that. But Kevin's forehand, he can get so much power on it to stand it up.
Oh, it's incredible. And he's put in so much work over the years. And now, you know, almost universally, the players on tour would say he has one of the best sidearms in the world right now. Hole number 7, par 4, 641 feet. Very tough placement off the tee. Landing zone is about 370 feet, right about here. You want to get even farther than this because the basket is being pushed up deep and to the right now. You have to be in position to throw either some sort of sidearm skip shot or some sort of roller to get up to this green. So distance and placement off the tee is crucial. There is a left gap on the other side of where the drone was flying that some of the players are going for, but distance is key here.
It looks like Chris is playing a mid-range there. He gets up to the second tree. He's right in the middle. We'll see if he has a line. He'll probably have to try to flex something from behind that tree. Kevin knows he's thrown it a bit low. Stays out of those bushes, which gives him a better play for maybe a birdie, but most likely a par.
Little bit high from Garrett, but like he said, that will work. And I love the righty roller play on this hole. Look at this line.
Yeah, this is standing up right at the right time, I think.
Oh, and just clips the tree, but still, that's perfect position.
Yeah, he's clipping that tree, really put him down in the flat. He's right in the middle, and couldn't really be in a better spot.
And now Kevin looks like he's throwing a roller.
Oh, this looks good, too. If this is going to turn over left, he's going to get up
Oh
on
my
the
gosh.
green. Miss that tree.
That is one of the best rollers I've seen all week. That's incredible.
From way out of position, Kevin Jones throws the inside roller and gets it to about 15 feet. Gonna have pretty much a tap-in birdie.
Garrett scoots to circle 2.
Wow.
Yeah, I'm still blown away by Kevin's roller.
And kind of a little choppy forehand out of Chris there. He was kind of pinched off on that tree. He's got that step putt. We'll see.
Mm-hmm. And Nikko, after being in perfect position, capitalizes on it and parks it for the birdie.
For good measure, skips it off of Kevin's disc, says, I'm still a little closer. Just misses. A good bid there. He weaved it through some trees.
Garrett's going to have to tap in a par here.
Yeah, just a bit high left. And another incredible birdie there from Kevin. Go back and watch that shot again. I know I will.
Chris taps in his par. And again, you know, these players are having to claw their way to this final round. Only the top 4 players move on. So they all know where they need to be. They've seen the patterns and the scores that are coming in.
Yeah, so if you guys see some like extra emotion coming off of these guys, it's because this means so much. It's the final round of the year if they're not in the top 4 of these players, of these 12 players.
And we do move into hole number 8, 534-foot par 4. One of the more placement-oriented holes that we have out here. Distance is not a huge requirement here. Even if you land right about here off the tee, you have an opportunity to shoot uphill to this slightly protected green. But really, as long as your tee shot's in an okay position, most of these players have the scramble ability to get up there.
Yeah, we've seen players try to be pretty aggressive and saw it off inside or either push it long. If you can just put it in that specific spot that you want, it looks like Kevin's doing pretty well at that. He didn't go super aggressive. That's right in the line, and he has a good look into the green. He's not going to have to try to manufacture anything out of the woods. Nikko doing the same thing.
Yeah. Just kind of a down-tempo driver shot. Gets a little bit of fade to the left, and that's a decent spot as well. Chris putting more of a move on this.
And just a bit inside. He still gets a good skip up there.
That's going to be just fine. And Garrett gets past the initial gap, has gone a little bit long. He's going to have a little bit more work to do.
And Kevin Jones just throwing the perfect forehand up again. This is going to put him 5 down through 8.
Go further, way further. Holy.
And as you could hear, Nikko left that just a little bit low, wanted it to go a little further. He's still up there on the green and has a putt. Didn't hit anything.
And Garrett has put himself to about 15-20 behind that tree there. Oh, yeah.
Yeah, great shot right there from Chris. He's probably 20, 25 feet. Ooh. Oh, Nikko walking it down. That had a great line on it. Just didn't quite drop.
Garrett just missing to the right. Oh, boy.
And that's it's not one you typically see from Chris. He's a really solid putter from inside and outside the circle.
Oh, yeah. But again, taking par is okay. This is actually one of the easier par 4s in the course. Definitely scoring under par. So parring does lose you about half a stroke, actually. It was averaging about a 3.58.
Yeah, and for Chris with those couple birdies, couple bogeys early on, he's really looking to come back. So he's wanting that one. He's still sitting over par right now. But Kevin Jones, 5 under, moving into hole 9, 430 feet. You really want to throw something straight that's going to have a little bit of fade. You've got a tight gap to hit off of the tee. If you can keep it in this part of the fairway, you're typically going to end up left of the basket once you get down here. You have to challenge those trees we just passed on the right if you really want to park it, which is a tall task on this hole.
Yeah. We do have some players on this card with the sidearm. We see Kevin with that medium stability D2 in his bag. And that couldn't quite see, but it did flex out, and he is in circle one yet again for a birdie.
Yeah, that's a great shot to get down there and have a look on this hole.
And this is a stag from Nikko. I don't know how much better you can throw this.
I guess a little further and a little straighter.
Yeah, he tends to throw those stags on a little slower speed.
Still a great shot, though. He's down there looking for an easy par, which is all you really want on this hole. Unless you get a drive like that. Chris kicks off the last tree, and he's about 20, 25 feet. Oh, and Garrett hitting early. It looks like he's kicked over behind a short tee. Has a little line. I think this is the Color Glow Rock 3. He's hit the line and is inside the circle long of the basket. Kind of like hole 1 when he hit early and then got his upshot all the way long of the basket. So great recovery shot.
Oh my God.
Right out of his hand, he knew.
Yeah, still though, he's not happy with either one of his shots, but a par is what you take on this hole. Unless you get that a little higher, then that would have been a birdie. But great. He's still, he's 5 through 9, so he's got a great round going. Oh, Garrett not quite able to save his par there.
That is a clutch birdie for Dickerson, climbing back to even par. He has 9 more holes to make a move here. We've been seeing that the scores to move on are usually about 5 down or better, so there's definitely a mark to be hit. So they're going to have to definitely clean it up, Garrett and Chris.
Yeah, even through the front nine's not quite what you're looking for, but Kevin Jones already at 5 down and looking to better that through the back 9.
And there you have it, folks. We have 3 players at even par, and Kevin Jones has pulled away from the card here, 5 under par. We will catch you on the back 9. Again, make sure to subscribe to Gatekeeper Media on YouTube. And we have a thrilling finish. We will see who moves on.
Yeah, we've got Calvin through the front 9 doing as well as Kevin is, and Austin right behind him. And we'll see you guys out there on the back.
We will see you on the back.